Hello YouTube, welcome back to my channel. My name is Neo. In this video, I am working on another return client. I will link her previous set in the cards. She had that nude Valentine set with the red hearts and red French lines. I've already gone in and removed her set by filing down to that clear acrylic layer that I love to lay. I pushed back her cuticles and filed away any lifting and or dead skin that was on the new growth. Now I'm just going in with my priming and placing my new, basically I'm air quoting here, backfill or fill in. And this is basically what I do when every client comes in, as much as I can. Sometimes I forget, and I'm not perfect, but I am just using the Young Nails Pore Clear and the Young Nails monomer to basically give her, I'm air quoting, her infill, or to cover up any of the new growth that has, come in the time since she had her nails done before. It takes not very long. The only thing I focus on here is not flooding the cuticles or sidewall and just blending down over the pre-existing extension, or if there's a new tip. A few of the nails did break, so I had to apply new tips, so you'll see me covering, like this finger, the entire natural nail, but like on this tip there's already an extension, so I'm just placing that bead over the back portion of her finger. I'm pushing it towards the cuticle and making sure that the acrylic covers everywhere it's supposed to, and then blending it down over the pre-existing extension. So when she came in, she had no idea what she wanted. She said, "I want bright nails." And I was like, okay. So I had this in my mind. Trust me, it's gonna get worse before it gets better. Even I was like, ooh girl, halfway through. But it ended up being a really, really cool set. I'm starting off with using this extra white acrylic by Young Nails. It is very stark white. I will say it's not my favorite white. I feel like it sets significantly faster than the rest of the Young Nail colors that I have. But I'm placing it basically on half of this pinky nail. I will be placing another color on the other half. So at this point, I'm just trying to like paint on the color. But even this part, I don't know, it's not my first time using it also, but I do notice that it does set extremely fast. Like there's just a crap ton of white pigment in it. But if you are looking for a whiteout white acrylic, this is one that you definitely should use. So I'm going to be working with the white. I believe this nail is going to be a full nail of white. So I'm just doing a basic acrylic application on this finger. We're going to be doing a lot of hand painting in this set, so that's the purpose of the white. Anywhere I'm placing the white, I'm basically going to be hand painting over. In hindsight, I could have painted it with a white gel paint, but I just thought that a white acrylic base would just give me a smooth and solid base to work on. I wouldn't have to worry about building up coverage with white gel polish. It's a solid white acrylic nail. Just going to go in with another medium-sized bead of acrylic to finish covering this nail, making sure to push it up towards the cuticle and towards the side walls, and then blending it down over the bead that I had already placed more towards the free edge of the nail. I'm not building up too much structure because I am going to paint and then clear cap the nails, but I'm just making sure I get a nice bit of coverage of this acrylic on her ring finger. And that looks pretty good. I'm gonna do another half nail on her pointer finger, and then on her thumb, I think we're gonna do a different color. So we're doing another half nail, so I'm just applying the bead of acrylic on the right side of her nail. You could do a full finger of acrylic and then just kind of like carve out half the nail, but I just figure, it's not laziness, but it's just kind of like, that's just more work than it's worth. It's definitely something you can do, but especially because I'm going to be covering the nail afterwards anyway, I'm just gonna try and use my brush to kind of keep the product on half of the nail, and it worked out. So on her thumb, I will be doing another solid full nail. First of all, check out my nails in the video. They look super gorgeous. I do have a video on my channel for this set. It is my neon, super bright. I know I promised that I would stop doing nude sets, and this one is so bright, but it's really pretty and I love it. So this is my neon, like tropical vibe set that I've got going on, check that out. I will put a link of that in the card for you to check out as well. But yeah, for her thumb, I'm just doing another solid white nail. All right, so she said she wanted bright. We are going bright. So this is the same color that I used on my nails for the set that I have on right now. It is the neon pink that I talked about in that video. It is called Good Kisser, and it is from iGel Beauty. This color is gorgeous. It is bright. It is basically like day glow, hot pink, and it is delicious. So every part of the nail that was left blank will be getting this color. So for the half nails, I'll be placing this on the other side of that white. And for this middle finger, we're going to be doing a full application of this Good Kisser neon pink color. And for the half nails, I'm just being careful. Again, it's like a paint application. I'm not really trying to build up product because I will be clear capping afterwards. We're going to do a lot of hand painting and encapsulating. This set was really involved and took quite a while, but she was such a trooper and let me just play around with her. So I'm not really trying to be perfect with this application in terms of doing it over the white line. Obviously you want it to be clean, so you will see I'm swiping that brush over on the white side just to kind of push that product back so that we get a nice, as crisp of a line as possible, but I'm going to be painting over it anyway, so I'm just trying to get enough coverage and not cover too much of the white. Also, because it is really pigmented, you do not want that pink pigment over the white, so just being careful with that as well. All right, so here we are, and it looks, you know, a little bit rough. I'm just taking my sanding band and kind of cleaning up the white parts of the half nails and smoothing out the surface. We will be doing some hand painting, so I didn't want it to be like a bumpy, rough surface because then the gel paint wouldn't have like a smooth surface to lay on. So I'm just going in quickly with my sanding band that I used to prep the nail to kind of smooth out the surface of these half nails. And here we go. So I had this idea in my mind for a while, and I had this little like notebook where I draw down some nail ideas that I want to do on clients. And when she said bright, the first thing I thought was this design. It's kind of like a tribal-esque vibe, like an Aztec kind of vibe. Like if you Pinterest, you know, those kinds of words, the kind of print that you would see. But I wanted to use these colors: hot pink, purple, like a lilac, teal, navy blue, black and white. So I basically was trying to match the closest gel polish that I could find to that neon pink. In hindsight, I was like, damn, I should have just mixed in some neon pigment to kind of match this pink. It looked fine afterwards anyway, because it's fairly close. It's just a little bit more of a blue toned pink versus the neon pink that's a little bit more of a yellow pink. So I'm not making the mistake like I normally do. I am having her cure after every single color of polish that I add to the nails. So you're gonna see me building up this pattern, and I'm only painting on the white side. So I went in with the pink and drew some triangles. Now I'm taking this mint green and just drawing in over them, and it's no rhyme or reason. I'm making it up as I go. I was trying to see if I could incorporate some like tiny little triangle designs, but it was too much. And as you can see, the space is very tiny. I'm using that brush set that I often talk about from Amazon. It is great. You get a variety of different sizes, and as you can see, I'm using some dotting tools that are on all the brushes. Each brush has its own size of dotting tool, so I'm using the uber tiny ones to give myself some navy blue dots at this point. I'm not going to describe what I'm doing, but you can see the pattern is coming. And I told her when we first did the half pink and half white, I was like, girl, I know it looks crazy, just trust me a little bit. I didn't know if I could trust myself because it was just looking so wild, but in the end it came out looking really freaking cool, and I was really proud of it because this was a lot of hand painting. It's not difficult hand painting, but it's just a lot, and you have to be a little bit steady. And you know, pay attention, because I think I did something on one finger and then kind of forgot to do it on another finger. But for the most part, the pattern just kind of, you know, found its way, and I am having her cure after every single time I paint a different color so that we don't mess anything up, or if I change my mind, I can just wipe it off with alcohol and not have to worry about it after. You can just see the pattern is kind of coming to form, and it's really pretty. It's bright, it's pretty and slightly pastel, and you get the Aztec vibe that I'm talking about. But yeah, you can just watch me figure this out. So after adding that black line on the solid, or one of the solid white fingers, we are going to do a huge triangle. As you can see, I'm drawing a diagonal, a horizontal line across the nail, and then drawing two diagonal lines. And from there, I'm just going to use the brush from the polish to kind of fill it in instead of using that tiny brush, right? And as you can see, the pink is not perfectly matching that neon pink, but it's close enough. If I could do this again, I would mix in some of those neon pigments that I have, because I think I have a neon pigment that is more similar to that color. And I'm basically going to copy that Aztec pattern onto this large triangle on this finger. So I'm just making sure, so I add the green, I cure, and then I add the blue, and then I cure. So just making sure to cure in between each thing so that we don't mess anything up. And I'm just being very careful and taking my time. And I think that the black just kind of grounds the design and makes it, you know, just a little bit more impactful. So the next thing that I thought I would do, you see I've got the charms out, is add a little bit of gold to this set. So on the pinkies with the half and half, I am adding a tiny wet bead of clear acrylic and gold half dome charms. I'm going to be adding the same charms to, I know you can't see it, I don't know what happened with the camera, guys. I'm really sorry. It was good and then it wasn't. I don't know. I'm doing my best. Sorry. But I'm adding tiny gold charms along the black line on this finger with the huge diagonal Aztec situation. And then I'm going to add a larger charm to the center piece. You'll see right there of the pattern. So everything is underneath. The nails are extremely flat because remember, I did not build structure. If you see her thumb, it's extremely flat. Now I'm going to clear cap all of the nails. And she was saying, you know, I hope that they don't snag because she's in the medical field and she wears gloves a lot. She's like, I hope they won't. And I'm like, trust me, girl, they won't, because they're going to go inside the encapsulation. So I'm just using my Young Nails Core Clear to basically clear cap all of her nails. So the design is going to be underneath the acrylic as well as those charms. And then I'm building up for structure as well. So just making sure that the design is nice and safe so that when we go to file, we don't remove very much, and that the charms don't bother her. I mean, in the end, I'm going to add a crap ton of bling anyway, but that was the intention here. And now it's time to just file. I'm using my 5-in-1 silver fine bit, and I'm just smoothing out the surface of the nail, trying my best to be careful not to file too hard on the sidewalls and cuticle area, because that's the thinnest part of application for the acrylic. If I file too much, I might file into that paint job that we did, and it would defeat the purpose of encapsulating it. So just making sure to be careful. And I've got my Young Nails dust collector out. As you can see, I always use it with my clients, especially when removing sets. You can see all the dust that it collected. I just think all the time, I can't imagine not having a dust collector in any fashion, because the dust that you have when you remove a set is so significant. I would hate for that to just be all over the place. But yep, that's pretty much what I'm doing. Smoothing out the surface of the nail, making sure there's no lumps and bumps, making sure that it's even on all sides, and making sure that the cuticle and sidewall areas are nice and thin, and there's a separation from the skin and product so that we don't have a surface breakdown. And then to make sure that the shape is nice and crisp, I'm going in with an 80/80 grit hand file, and I'm just cleaning the sides. She likes a little bit more than a tapered square, a little bit of a coffin, and I'm just going to be making sure that they're nice and crisp. She's had these tips on, I think, for about 3 or 4 sets now. There's, I think, 1 or 2 fingers have been replaced, but for the most part, a lot of the nails are a little bit older, so the tips are not as crisp as they were when she came last time. No biggie, I'm just going in that up and down motion like I normally do, and I'm just going to be making sure that the shape looks a-okay. Going in with a buffing block just to smooth out the top and bottoms of the nails. She likes the bottom of her nails to be a little bit softer just because she has a little baby and she doesn't want to scratch them. So just making sure that the nails are nice and smooth so that we go in with that top coat, everything looks really good. So I had her wash her hands, but even when clients wash their hands, I always clean them with some swipe. I didn't use my manicure brush. I am using a lint-free wipe just to get up in there. I can, scrub the nail a little bit with my hands. And then it's time for bling. So the table, you can see I've got a whole lot of, stuff going on. I am using gold and a little bit of silver charms, but I've got the Zule bling adhesive out, and we are just going to be building up a rhinestone pattern. Sorry that it's a little bit fuzzy. I think I knocked the camera a little bit while working, but you get the idea. Nothing crazy. We're using gold charms. You know how I like to just slap on a lot of stuff on the nails. We did have a laugh because I did one finger and I was like, all right, come bring the other hand, because I definitely don't know how I did that, and it was cool, but I think it came out great. Just making sure not to get the adhesive over any of the other rhinestones. You do not want to lose the shine from this glue resin. And after the gem application, I also added some rhinestones to her thumb, but I'm going in with my Beetles Glossy Top Coat. We are going to make sure that all the nails are nicely coated so we can bring out all that gorgeous hand painting that we did. I'm going to be careful going around her rhinestones specifically, but for the metal charms, I am going to apply some of the top coat over those metal pieces just to make sure that they are locked in all around. You don't want, like I use some metal bars, you don't want those to snag like your hair or your clothing and like fly off. So as you see that cuff piece, I definitely just added that gel right on top of it, but I'm being careful with the rhinestones, cleaning up as I go. And then I'm gonna have her cure for 2 minutes just to be sure, and then this set is pretty much done. So this is what the set came out looking like. You can see all of those beautiful gold encapsulated pieces, and it was really fun. I was really proud of myself. This is something that I have been thinking about, but wasn't sure I could execute, but it came out really nice. I really hope you like it. Like this video if you do. Like it for the hard work, okay? Like it for the hard work. Subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one.